Hi, this is Jeannie from Trendy Tree, and today I'm going to make a Valentine wreath. All the products that I'm using in this tutorial, of course, come from Trendy Tree. And if you're not familiar, that's our website. It's www.trendytree.com. And Carrie sells all sorts of wreath making supplies, work forms, ribbons, mesh, signs, silk flowers, and seasonal decorations. So today I've chosen this, I think it's an 18-inch. Heart wreath. This is the metallic, and this is the one that has the twist ties. Now I've made a Valentine wreath before using the same technique, but I used one that didn't have the twist ties. But today I'm going to use the tulle, and then I'm going to also use a twist to incorporate some jelly ribbon. I love the jelly ribbon. It's something it's still kind of new, but it's a clear plastic ribbon. This is wire edge, and this is the pink, and then I'm also going to use the red. Now this is the 2.5 inch wide. I'm not using the 2.5 inch wide. I'm going to use the 1.5, but I had to get Terry to run to the warehouse to get me a roll. I just wanted you to see how that color looks. And then I have several different colors of tulle, and this is, I think, what they call shocking pink. And I'm not sure exactly how much it's going to take. So I have 3 colors, so I brought 2 rolls of each color. And again, I'm not sure what it's going to take. What I will do, I'll start cutting one color first. I'll cut up that whole roll, and then if I need more, I'll get into the second roll. But the shocking pink is RC126611. And if you look in the video description, I'll have those links for you. You can also look at the blog post, which there's a link in the video that will take you to the written blog post. The next one is purple. It's RC126623. These are all 6 inches wide, and there's 25 yards on the roll. And then I have one that's glitter, and it's fuchsia, RC127707. Glitter tulle is messy, so if you work with it, work it in a place where you can sweep it up easy. The pink jelly ribbon is RG0183711, and I'll have to get you that red color number. And the wreath is XX764924. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut my tulle. Now I have a cutting mat. This is like a 24 by 36 inch cutting mat. We sell these at Trendy Tree. I think we're out of this size right this minute, but we'll be getting more of those. But it's so handy when you're working with wreath forms. It kind of protects your tabletop. It's what they call a self-healing mat, so you can use your rotary cutter and just cut, and it'll just self-heals. I guess it fills back out. I don't know. But it's reversible. You can use it on both sides, and it has measurements. And then I'm also going to use this tulle. This came from Hot Mesh Mom, and I will give you the link to her Etsy shop. But it's just a little board that has some pre-cut measurements on it, 10 inch and 12 inch. And I have one, it comes in another board that's like 13 inches or 14 inches. So for cutting ribbon strips, it just makes it super easy and super simple. So for these strips on the tulle, I'm going to cut it in 12-inch lengths. So I'm going to start with my shocking pink. I'm just going to drop it in the floor. I'm going to start, just hold it at the top. And of course, you try not to stretch your tulle as you're cutting it. And then I'm just going to start wrapping it around the board. And I'm going to cut several. I'm just careful not to stretch it. And then I'm going to cut through that, and that way I can cut several pieces at one time. Of course, the tulle is thin, so you can cut a good many. It just depends on how thick your ribbon is as to how many pieces you can get cut on a time. I'm certainly not going to try to cut this whole roll, but I'll just stop right there. So you just stop and hold on to it, and then slip your scissors under the tulle and cut across. Keep holding it. Hold on to it. And just go down to the other end, slide your scissors under the tool. Of course, if you have really sharp scissors, that helps. So now then, you've got all these pieces of 12-inch tulle cut. So what I'm going to do right now, and it's staticky. If you have a static spray, that's a good time to spray some on your sleeves and on your board while you're working with something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up an entire roll of the shocking pink, purple, and the fuchsia before I ever get started. This works easier if you just let your roll of tulle fall off in the floor and then just flip your board like that. It goes much quicker. Of course, you don't have to use this board. You can cut a 12-inch piece of cardboard or a ruler for 12 inches, but the boards are just so handy. I really like using it. And you can get that from Hot Mesh Mom in her Etsy shop. And I'll give you the link to that. Just look at the video description or check the blog post. This is your winter friend. I always keep Static Guard in my closet. So for a project like this, you know, it just really kind of helps if you spray your hands, spray your clothes. Now I'm cutting my purple the same way, cutting all my tulle in the 12-inch lengths. And when you go to snip your ribbon at the top, if you'll go in from the 10-inch side versus the 12, it helps you get your scissors up under all the loops, and it helps you cut right across the top instead of kind of cutting down the side. But cut it, be sure to hold on to it, flip it over. Well, cut your tulle free from the roll, and then just slide your scissors in on the 10-inch side, get up under all your ribbon, and then you can cut across the top. The tulle with the glitter is a little easier to cut, I guess because it's a little stiffer with that glitter, but it's a little easier to cut. My husband got back with the red jelly ribbon, and that is RG01837EX. And I also failed to mention that I thought I might use this little metal heart arrow. It's on like a press board type thing, and it's kind of a rustic white and red, and we'll see. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is tie the tulle onto the wreath form first, and then I will come back and put in the jelly ribbon strips. I think that might be easier. And I cut all of one of each color, and I have another one here in case I need it. So the first thing I'm going to do is start on the outer ring. Now I did a little practice clump right there just to kind of see how that was going to look. But I'm going to start on the outer ring. Not going to use a twist. I'm just going to tie the tulle pieces directly to the work wreath frame. Now I'm going to zoom in closer so you can see it better. Now I'm just going to start on the outer ring, and I'm going to take a piece of the tulle, 12-inch tulle, excuse me, and I'm just going to double it, get my ends even, and I'm going to take the folded end of my tulle and slide under the wire form, slip my fingers through the loop, grab the tails, and pull them through. And I'm going to snug that up and make it tighter. Now, you want to kind of pull close to your knot. You don't want to come out here and pull from your ends because you'll make them uneven and you'll stretch them. One will be, longer than the other. So, since the tulle is so thin, I'm going to put 2 pieces of each color before I change colors. So just grasp it, get the ends even, take the folded end under the wire, slip your fingers through it, grab the tails, and pull them through. You want to do that each time so that all your knots are the same and your knots are on top. Okay, and then just take another color, fold it, under the wire, slip your fingers through. It's just a slip knot. Grab the tails and pull them through, snug it up, make it tight, make your ends even. I don't think this has to be any particular pattern, but I am going to use 2 of each one before I go on to the next color. And then as to how many it's going to take to fill in a gap, I'm just going to fill it in pretty full. If I use up the 1 roll of each color that I've already cut, I have more and I can just keep adding. I'm sure it won't take more than 2 rolls of each color. And you can just slide those. You can just slide those knots together and pack them in there thick enough that you can't see the wire frame. Okay. Like I say, the glitter tulle is messy. It's a little bit stiffer than regular tulle, which I like that. You can make this all out of glitter tulle if you can find, the right colors. I chose colors that we had in stock, of course. I think we're out of red. Okay, and I'm just going to keep working all the way around the outer ring. When I get to a twist, I'll just work right up to it and then just skip it and then go on right beside it on the other side. Now I've gone all the way around the outer ring with the tulle. This is rather large. Right now it measures about 28 inches in diameter. And what I'm going to do now, before I move to the inner ring, is I'm going to use my jelly ribbon and put a ribbon cluster in the twist on the outer ring. It will be easier to get to those twists before I get the inner ring done. So I'm going to cut my jelly ribbon into 12-inch lengths. And I'm just going to cut an angle on the edge, and I'm going to make a ribbon cluster for each twist. Okay, I cut my 1.5-inch jelly ribbon into 12-inch lengths, and I just angled the ends. So I've got the pink and I've got the red. And of course this ribbon, even though it's a plastic and it's thick, it's still wired. It is a little different to work with compared to just regular ribbon because it's thicker. But you just want to fold it, find your center point, and just pinch it up just like you do regular ribbon strips, which, like I say, it's a little harder to handle than just regular ribbon. But then I'm going to pick up a pink strip, find the center, pinch it up, and then I'm just going to kind of separate my ribbon clusters where, the leaves are the leaves, just where the tails are kind of opposite of each other. And then I'm going to find a twist, doesn't matter where you start, and just open up a twist and lay the cluster down. Of course, the twists on this wreath are red. Just give that a couple of turns, and if you want to, you can take the twist and curl those up a little bit. That's just strictly, if you want to, you can just let them straight out and show, and then just kind of spread your ribbon cluster out. Kind of put your fingers under it and kind of curl those edges a little bit. Make them kind of curl under if you want to. And then I'm just going to continue working all the way around the wreath on the outer ring and put a ribbon cluster of a red and a pink in each twist. Well, I know you love it when I regroup and change something, but what I decided to do, instead of curling the twist, was leave them pull straight out. Now, you can do them any way that you like, but for this wreath, you're kind of taking your tool and kind of pushing it out to the side. So I just decided to leave the twist straight and pretty much leave the ribbon straight. So that's where I am right now. I have the tool and a ribbon cluster in each twist. Now I'm going to start on the inner ring, and I'm going to do tie on the tool, and then I'll come back and add the ribbon clusters. Now as I tie the tool pieces on this outer ring, I'm going to space them out maybe a little bit looser, a little bit farther spaced out, not tie them on looser, to see if I can get by with just the one roll of each color of tool. Now if I can't, I can come back and fill in, cut some more and fill in. But I thought I would kind of space them out a little bit and see if I can make what I already have cut work. Okay, now I've gone all the way around it, the inner ring with the tool. Now I haven't put my ribbon clusters yet. And I've used up all of the pieces that I had cut. Now you don't want it to look skimpy. You could get by with it like this, but I'm going to, you want all your wire covered up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut into another roll of tool. It won't take anywhere near all of it, but I still think it will be worth it in the long run. Also, I want to cover up where the twists are attached, and the way that I'm going to do that is just tie a piece of tool right over the twist, just like I'm putting it on the work wreath frame, but I want to cover up that twist. I want to cover that up because that shows. And I will just go around, let's see, I need to show you one that I covered up. Well, you just just take your tool, just like you're tying on a piece, and cover up that twist. You may have to kind of go between the twists. That's okay, because you'll still be able to get to it to tie your jelly ribbon cluster on. But just cover that up. You want to cover those mechanics up. And I'm just going to use that fuchsia tool, the glitter one, because I like it the best. I like it because it's a little bit sparkly. And I'll just go around and cover those up. And it's really easy to just kind of push the pieces aside that you've already done, and find you a place where you can tie on a couple more. Okay, well, I've gone around the inside and tried to cover up the twist a little bit, which is probably a little overkill, because once you get it finished, you know, the tool is going to kind of fluff down like that, and it probably wouldn't show anyway, but, you know, I just wanted to cover it up. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make more of the ribbon clusters, and I'm going to put a ribbon cluster in each twist, a pink jelly ribbon and a red jelly ribbon, just like I did on the outside. And now, just so you know, I'm not using my ribbon board to cut the jelly ribbon because it's just too thin. So I'm just using my cutting board for that. Okay, there's our wreath after we did our jelly ribbon clusters, and you know, just hang it up, fluff your ribbons out. However, if you want them curled a little bit, some of them you may want to curl to kind of keep them, to keep this center part open, and if you need to, you can always trim a little bit of your tool off. If your V is kind of lost, you can just trim your tool back a little bit and fluff your ribbons out however you want them. If you want them to kind of stick straight out, or if you want them to kind of curl under. Now I have this sign that I was thinking that I would put like right across there. So it has a burlap string, but I'm not really going to use that string to attach it with. Let's see. I'm going to use a chenille stem. I'm going to staple a chenille stem on each end of the sign. Now, as far as that last roll of tulle that I opened, I didn't even use half of it. I probably tied on maybe 24 pieces extra. So I'm gonna take my little sign, and of course it's just made out of, it's not even MDF, it's just some kind of cardboard. And I'm just gonna take a chenille stem and put it on the end. And just put a couple of staples in it, sorry. Do that on each end. Okay. And then I can use my chenille stems to attach it to the work wreath frame. And I'm just going to tuck that. I might want to use that later on for something else, so I'm not gonna cut that burlap string. I'm just gonna put the arrow like that. So I just took that burlap string and just stapled it to the back, and then if I ever want to use that sign later, I can just take those staples off. Okay, well that's it. So it measures about 28 inches wide. It's very easy to do. You do not have to have any wreathing skills or bow making. If you've got something to measure with and some scissors, you can sit down and just tie this on. Now, it is messy. The glitter tulle is messy, but the other tulle is not. And anyway, there you have it. All the supplies came from Trendy Tree, so just check out the supply list in the description link or go to the blog post, and it will have links to the products there. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done that. And there's a little bell down there somewhere. If you click on that, you'll get a notice every time we upload a new video. See you next time. Bye-bye.